of 14 Americas to walk on the moon. Right now, before we leave the moon, and maybe for the last time this decade, I feel, and Ed feels, we should salute the man upstairs. Our man upstairs is Bo Cunningham. Like 6 other Apollo Command Module pilots before him, he came to the moon, but has not walked upon it. And yet, of all 3 men on a mission, he is the one whose functions are mandatory so that we may return to our families. When our spacecraft splashes down in the cool waters of the Pacific, it is Bo who will have flown us home. Every man has his moment. For this lucky man, it is the view I now see as I look out the lunar module window. But few, if any, will know what moment our man upstairs, Bo, carries home with him.
Al Borden, Lunar Module Pilot, Post-Flight Journal.
Bo Cunningham, Command Module Pilot.
Commander Ed Lovett, June 3, 1973.
Rescue's gonna wing in from the west.
As Command Module Pilot, I got to fly the only hard ground landing in the history of NASA. A wayward thruster, a frozen valve, divergent software. I'm quite far from nailing this one down. Our emergency supply kit has everything but an inflatable woman. We even have post-flight journals that come with instructions. Surrender immediately to rescue personnel upon conclusion of any delayed recovery event. I guess that's us.
Although I'm quite sure our re-entry didn't fail because of me, I can't shake the feeling that I've let the country down. The mission was so full of miscues.
That's true. I remember that.
Maybe this desert is my chance for repentance.
Yeah. I don't understand what
At any
happened
rate,
to
the
snag
impact
this
was a
woman.
hard one. Probably made worse by the fact that Bo looked out the window as we fell and was able to report that we were not over the water.
In case the in-flight recorders were cut, when Al realized we were about to put down on hard ground, he yelled out in a Russian accent for the motherland comrades.
Going cheap. One slightly dented Apollo Command Module. Only screwed the pooch once. The only question, who's the pooch? And who's doing the screwing?
Well, let's push on.
Of course, Al has endeavored to hang a signal flag torn from a parachute.
Get off of there! What is he up to? Cowboy.
I don't like it. He's gonna break his neck getting off of there.
Come and get us, boys!
I hope we don't attract the wrong sort. A quick site reduction places us somewhere on the Taklamakan Desert in westernmost China. If this is true, the agency may have to jump some diplomatic hurdles before they can get to us. Even so, we expect that on the outside, our deliverance will be in a couple of hours.
Okay, let's put it
Items
down.
removed from the spacecraft. The emergency supply kit. The emergency locator transmitter. Damaged at impact. Not functioning. And as Al keeps harping on,
Our precious, priceless cargo, the rock box. To not get the moon rocks back safely, sterile and uncontaminated, would shame this crew, the mission, the agency, the country.
Canopy's hung. Wait! We're on our way!
It scares the hell out of me to think how close we have already come to doing just that.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, let me grab that.
Ow! Jeez! Ow!
Ed speculates that we might have been put down here on purpose to revitalize public interest in the program. Could be. A logical sequence of events has always led up to the great missteps of the program. The fire, 13, not just bad luck.
Got a couple heavy ones.
Heavy, man. Where you want them?
Give me this one. You grabbing my rocks, Bo?
There are angels over me. Bastard angels with whom I have shared a flight into the ether. But something changes in me. As if, it's hard to say, as if the ether, the invisible nothing still clings, dripping from me like syrup.
Got it set right up.
Got a house.
Now we're
Our
swinging.
return to the steps of Eden has not changed my Sputniks.
Let's watch it out.
Al is more Al. Acting like a kid, always the kid.
Bo!
He was more playful on the surface of the moon than Charlie Duke.
You stole my rocks!
Like Charlie, he damn near ripped his suit open a couple of times, jumping around like a child. Bo, our only remaining bachelor astronaut. Easily our best goddamn command module pilot. Outstanding engineer. Only botanist to fly. Saved our asses twice on this mission. If not for Bo, I'd be dying in lunar orbit right now. He's brilliant. But he goes home alone and makes love to his hand. I apologize for that off-color remark. We've decided to make a quick recon. I, for one, feel very much in need of the comforts of objective truth. Like mathematics. Or my wife.
I'm happy that Earth vistas can still thrill me. Earth vistas. Here's something you psych boys might be interested in. In reference to the Mascons, the moon rocks, Jack Schmidt and I talked just before he and Gene made their flight. By the way, Jack, I'm still jealous you got to be the first real live geologist to explore another planet. Goads me to no end. But I love you, Jack. Off the subject again. Jack and I agreed that the rocks will end up in museums someday. People will touch them. And that's as it should be, I guess. But the rocks are so important. That's why we handle them with such care. They're sacred. We, the living, are made of this stuff. Now we find it's the same stuff out there as down here. The same, but different. Bo suggested that moon rocks... My God, moon rocks. What with their magnetic properties, laid out on the ground and bunched together, might be detectable and expedite our recovery. The same stuff, but different. A real cosmic mystery. Souvenirs of us. Kate, honey, I wish they'd let me keep a rock for you.
of that crater was blue. I swear to you.
Yeah, you gotta be on the moon to know it.
You think we'll go again?
I won't. Hey, congratulations, man. You too, friend.
There are those who get to live their lives at extremes.
Goddamn. We've been to another planet.
Literature tells us they are the only ones who live. Confidence in the belief that our rescue is close has given us, I feel, too relaxed a countenance. I find myself surprised that we're still here. After all, who would have ever thought that a Cold War would leave us stuck out here in the hot desert? Nevertheless, we're all acting like we've come down at Disneyland. Adventureland is where we are. We're still on the mission. And we do not know how it will end. Don't ask Al about it.
Oh, shit! Jesus, Bo! What are you doing back
He's the
there?
very picture of industry, filling the pages of his post-flight journal.
Good Lord, what if
He's
that
always
water-
been one part unceasing commitment to geologic duty
What were you thinking, Bo?
and one part sentimental tour guide. It's a curious schism that only Al, the darling astronaut of the Corps, can pull off.
What is all this?
People think he knows
geologically
things.
speaking?
On top, andesite, plagioclase, feldspar.
Women always came easily to Al. He would never seem to take his future seriously until after he was assigned a mission, and even then he just stumbled into his marriage.
Expect this quiet.
Here in the desert, he wanted to tell me
Well,
about a
we'll be
function
talking
at the
to the
Cape we had
press.
both been at a few years
Huh,
ago.
Bo? You know?
I think we were honoring Von Braun. It
Remember
was the night that
Von
Al
Braun's
met
wife?
his wife, Kate.
I remember.
My date that night. Anyway,
It's a dream.
this was something he'd never told anybody.
I remember movies,
Lots of details.
and I stepped up.
He fell back into the night, his words swirling around the rocks like a eudaimonic breeze,
It was crazy.
intoxicating him, carried him away.
Right. Hold her close to me.
I won't recount the narrative here. Anyway, I guess it's in his journal.
That's the way it happened. The way it happened.
Unless it's our little secret.
few days ago, already the nonsense eternity of the past. No such thing. Existence has erased it. I was up there. I was standing on the moon, and I'm already losing the reality of it. The most any man has experienced, the deepest, the quietest, the most surreal, and even that gets stripped of its body, reduced to shaking images. Even that. And already it has started.
Their symptoms are recognizable. The violence of any given symptom is not.
Cut those thorns out of you.
There's blood in their vomit and stool. They're plainly
Hang
anemic.
on, buddy.
The cause,
The arm.
I'm only guessing here, could be
That's the arm.
a potent hemotoxin in the thorns of that plant. I have attempted to remove the thorn fragments from their arms. Or maybe this is something they brought back from the moon.
I'm beginning to wonder about the cause of my debility. Bo says it's the thorn of that plant Al and I got all wrangled in. Sounds logical. But I keep thinking of the rock box. I saw the unhinged latch, but I figured the seal was still good. But maybe when I moved the box, the nothingness of the moon escaped, and I breathed in the stillness of non-existence.
What?
Please, help me with this.
There's no water left to
I've
speak
been
of.
working on the numbers. Now, would you just relax?
I've surrendered my ration so that Al and Ed may have the last few swallows. Ed's ludicrous theories about re-entry distracted me at a crucial time. I thought I heard a plane. Unfortunately, Al's flag was brought down by the wind. Al is the worst off. There's a call I may have to pay.
Al!
Hey, Bo. Bo.
What? What is it?
I don't know.
Ed, what?
You son of a bitch! It was you, Bo. You're a killer, you son of a bitch. You knew it. And now that you put us down out here, you're just gonna let us die. It was you, Bo, you son of a bitch!
You were this aching, self-conscious hippie among squares who felt challenged just because you were in the room. That party was the first night we ever talked, and you told me that it wasn't your usual crowd. I remember asking what was. You pointed out the windows to the beach and the ocean beyond. You walked back into the crowd, disappearing in a sea of chevrons and bow ties. Later, I meet your date at the punch bowl, and he's drawing you a glass. He gestures to you and asks me what I think. I say, Bo, she's great. You asked me a few weeks ago why I decided to walk the 10 miles back to my motel that night. Well, it was on the whim of a fairly hopeless wish. But something told me that if for some reason your date did not take you home, then a walk along the beach might be worth a shot. And if he did, then it was pointless for me to drive back to Cocoa like nothing had happened. About 5 miles down, though, there you were. You know this part. Sitting on the beach, shoes off, feet pushed into the sand. Hanging out with your usual crowd, I asked. You nodded. Sat there with you for an hour or so, in silence. And in silence examined the stars and sand up close. Later you stood, looked down and smoothed out your dress, brushed it off, and then walked down the beach.
Mrs. Lovett, one more thing, if I may. Is there anything that you can tell this commission that might help shed some light on exactly what your husband might have meant by his final journal entry? I quote, "I saw the rule. There are no exceptions, not even you, my darling, are one."
I believe he was hallucinating.
Rampart. Okay. Come on. Commander Cunningham?
I just want to do everything right.